Welcome back into ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. Oh my God, if y'all would have saw how Tenitra was looking and how she was feeling about as soon as this camera came on, y'all would be laughing right along with me on ATL Day
Right.
Ones with Jarvis and T.
Put it like this, we will be running off this set. As soon as he says cut, I'm going to go get my whole self together. But anyway.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Well, this is for the culture. And we like to talk about things that kind of deal with African Americans because if you don't know this may be breaking news to you. I am Jarvis and she's Tenitra, and we're both African Americans. So we talk about this stuff. It may be even pop culture as well. So
Yes.
everybody can join in on this conversation and listen and watch this. And we appreciate you for watching us on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Continue to like and subscribe, and make sure you go and check us out on all the audio platforms. Wherever you get your podcast, we're there. I guarantee it. Just search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Today, April 15th, about a little while ago, a man by the name of Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. And, this April 15th was opening day, and this was Jackie Robinson's first year as a Major League Baseball player. Obviously, this was a big deal, and Major League Baseball has decided to honor him by everybody wearing the 42 jerseys and making sure they are continuing his legacy by honoring him and make sure everybody knows what his legacy was by honoring him. But my question to you is, to start this thing off, has it really accomplished anything?
If you look at where we were on year 25 of Jackie Robinson's anniversary, when the league invited him back to make a speech and celebrate breaking the color barrier, his statement was, "I hope that one day I live to see a Black face in the role of manager." Now, granted, Jackie Robinson unfortunately passed away pretty early in life, but still, we're 75 years removed from him breaking the color barrier, 50 years removed from him making that statement, and yet we only have two managers: Dusty Baker, who has been a manager for forever in the league, and Dave Roberts. The end. To say that he made that statement 50 years ago and we're only one more manager removed from what he asked for, that is very, very scary. And that's why Dave Roberts has said he has to be prepared and willing to be uncomfortable. And we know what that means. Having those difficult conversations about how Major League Baseball needs to move the needle.
Yeah, and they need to move it now, because there are so many ways they can, right? Because I even think about the Braves coaching staff, right? Ron Washington, Eric Young Sr., and there's another generation of first base coaches, should be managers at some point, at least an opportunity. Eric Young Jr. with the Washington Nationals. He's a first base coach now, and he's a former player as well. So, what are we really talking about? What are the here we go, asking these same questions. What are the qualifications to becoming a manager, right? What are they? We talk about what it is in the NFL and how NFL owners need to be willing to hire people that look like them. Pete Carroll was trying to convey that message, but it didn't come off too well because he had never really hired no Black folk to coach on this squad either. So, all right, can you do what you say you're going to do first? And then, be the example. So I think that I started thinking about MLB owners, they're almost faceless people, right? I know here with the Braves, it's a faceless corporation. I mean, you have, guys that are in place that, makes some of those financial decisions. And, Derek Schiller, but for the most part, it's not like the NFL where there's a face that you can put with the organization saying okay, this is the owner. So who are we going to call to task and say, all right, Mr. Owner of the Milwaukee Brewers, why don't you interview some Black guys to come and manage your team? It's not like that. So I don't know what Major League Baseball can do to try to make this better. Because like you said, 50 years later, two
Two.
50 years
50 years
later,
after he asked for
two,
one.
yeah, he had one simple request.
Yes.
Can we have some black folk managing these baseball teams?
Yes.
So, and I
That was
think
the question.
when you think about that, it's just a matter of how do they move forward? And because, at the end of the day, yeah, I know I would love to see it,
Yeah.
because I fell in love with the game of baseball. Baseball
Mhm.
was my first sport.
Right.
And
Right.
Lord knows the Braves had plenty of brothers to
Mhm.
look up to and follow along. You're talking about Fred McGriff, Ron Gant,
Yes.
Otis Nixon, Deion Sanders himself, played for
Mhm.
both professional teams. Brian Jordan, all those guys were guys that I looked at. I was like, man, I want
Mhm.
to play this sport. And we
Yeah.
don't have that today. We just don't have that.
Right, because the league is still essentially 80+% white,
Yep.
6% African American, and I believe Latino, that population is increasing, so I don't want to give the wrong number on that. But I will
Mm-hmm.
say this to follow up on your point. We talked about Pete Carroll and basically show and prove. And that's what the Dodgers have done. The
Right.
Dodgers are the team with Branch Rickey, who broke the color barrier back when they were the Brooklyn
Mm-hmm.
Dodgers, but no no condemnation on them changing from one coast
Right.
to the next, because at the end of the
Exactly.
day,
Yeah.
that's still a part of their legacy. And
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, who's the one of the two black managers? The Dodgers manager. And who is one of the teams in the league, albeit a minority owner, but one of the teams that has a black face in the room or sitting at the table? The Dodgers, when they have Magic Johnson. So again, that's the organization that's actually showing improving and has shown improve.
Yeah.
However, now that they've been that organization, the question becomes, how are they going to push or kind of push the conversation along or move the conversation forward with those other teams in Major League Baseball to say, well, what is it that you're doing? We're showing you the blueprint. We've shown you that it can be successful. What is it that
Mm-hmm.
you're doing to do the same? And going back to your point, all of those Braves players, those legends that you've mentioned, really, we only heard about two kind of coming back into the fold in terms of leadership and management. That would have been Hank Aaron, who was able to
Mm-hmm.
go front office, back office, side office, on the field, wherever he wanted to in the organization to make an
Exactly.
impact, and Chipper Jones. But what about some of those other guys? Now, granted, Jarvis, we don't know if they were actually interested in being on the field and coaching or managing. But ultimately speaking, the question becomes, and that's just the example locally, that does not take away from that being a need across the space overall. But the question does become, where's that pipeline? Once those
Right.
players are nearing the end of their career, are we asking that question? Because the other piece there is this: when players see, like you, when you're a little kid and you see that manager or that coach at third base, at first base, that could be encouraging to you because you see a face like yours who that person may have a similar experience and can tell you how they were able to navigate certain spaces
Right.
within the sports landscape.
Yeah, that would be something that I think Major League Baseball need to attack it. They can't run away from it, and they need to hear Dave Roberts out, because
Mhm.
there is some representation there. So you need
Yeah.
to at least listen to the people that are there if you
Mhm.
don't have that much. So,
Yeah.
and I'm glad, and I commend Dave Roberts. We were just giving him a little flack
Yeah.
the
Right.
other,
We'll give you some flowers
but
now.
we're gonna give you your flowers now, brother, for speaking out and speaking up. So we appreciate you for that, and we also appreciate you for checking with us, rocking
Yes.
with us all week, Monday through Friday, because we are
Yeah.
here every day for you on YouTube on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Make sure you like
Yeah.
and subscribe and check us out,
Check us
and
out.
come back here on Monday, because we'll be responding to a Hawks win versus the Miami Heat in Game One
Hope so.
of the NBA playoffs.
Hope
so,
so.
yeah, so we're gonna make sure you check us out. T, go ahead and take us out with that benediction.
Hey, listen, the thing that you guys need to do is pray, go in the prayer closet right now and just continue to say, Hawks, we want the Hawks to win. The Hawks will win. We are claiming it. Keep that mantra going. And then keep that same energy on Resurrection Sunday. Have you guys a happy, safe, Easter weekend, and we'll see you Monday.
Peace.